Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
All right, welcome back to Sports News with Noud. G-E-T-S, Jets. All right, let's just get right into it, all right? I usually just start the show with some funny bit. Fine, here's a joke. Ready? Why did the cookie go to the hospital? Felt crummy. They're happy. I mean, all of a sudden, the NFL cucks every sport. They just do. And anything that they do, they cuck it. And what do? Their biggest star, Aaron Rodgers, is finally traded to the New York Jets. Swaps picks this year, so Packers will be drafting at number 13. And the Jets will be drafting at number 15. With Aaron Rodgers, though, they do get a 5th-round pick this year. What the Packers get is a conditional 2nd-round pick next year that could turn into a 1st-round pick if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps, gets the 2nd-round pick this year, and I think it was like a 4th-round pick. So now the ripple effect has begun. Jordan Love, you are now QB1 in Green Bay. Christian Watson, you are not catching touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers. Lizard you get your boy back. So Lazard, Wilson, Breece Hall, all doing the lambada because they got Aaron Rodgers. It is amazing. It is great. Thank God this trade is fucking over. I guess we'll just start with the NFL altogether. I think this puts the Jets in contention to make the playoffs. I don't know where they would be in the higher tier of who gets to play Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. It's still the Bengals. So, end of the day. I don't know what you guys want me to say here. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is cool. He's 40-something years old. I'm not saying he's bad. He's definitely better than fucking Zach Wilson. I think the kid down the street that's throwing rocks at my house is better than fucking Zach Wilson. But, that's beside the point. I think this puts them in contention against the Dolphins with a healthy Tua, in contention with the Bills, whatever's going on in fucking Buffalo. I think Josh Allen is definitely still the best quarterback in the division. Don't get it twisted. I'm saying in an overall team setting, I think their defense is really good. I think they have really young stars. I don't know how long Aaron Rodgers is going to play on this, or this whole situation is going to be played out. But they definitely have a 2-year window. I'll give it a 2-year window to try and do whatever they need to do to get to that Super Bowl. Kind of like the Rams a little bit when they got Matthew Stafford. But the only difference is that their stars were a little seasoned. Cooper Kupp was older. Aaron Donald was older. When Von Miller joined, was older. OBJ was older. So now we're all waiting for bated breath for one more trade. And I think that's Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to go into it. We've talked about it. It's a dead horse. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with DeAndre Hopkins. The draft is Thursday. And Face of the Franchise will have a draft day special. Where me and our boy Smook will do kind of like a round robin. I'll go, he'll get the first pick, I'll get the second pick, and then we'll just pick from there. I'm very excited for the draft. We'll see what happens because this is a big move. I think I won't be shocked. If the biggest fuck you happens where they draft finally a wide receiver or a tight end, and it's not for Aaron Rodgers, it's for Jordan Love. So I don't know where Jordan Love stands in all this. I don't care to know. I think he's going to be fine. I'm just excited to see him. I like knowing what happens to these quarterbacks. You draft these quarterbacks so high, I want to know what happens. I want to see Trey Lance. I want to see him play. I want to see these two dudes play. But right now, they're both looking like tissue paper, and they never get on the fucking field. Well, not Jordan Love, because he just had a guy in front of him. Anyways. Great start to the NFL kind of season here. All right, it's amazing. It's great. Nothing really else to report. There's no trades yet. A lot of talks about the Texans not getting a quarterback. They might go Will Anderson, and a lot of teams going, no. We might go get a quarterback. All right, and then another thing is the Falcons are the bet-on favorite to get Bijan Robinson, which I like. Don't get me wrong. They're on the teams that I want. I think there's 5 teams that I want. Falcons, Eagles, Cowboys, Buffalo Bills, Chargers. Those 5 teams. If they get drafted, be very happy. As a fantasy owner. This is a fantasy owner thing. Not because of the Steelers or anything like that. Steelers, we'll see what happens with them. But anyways, back to business. We have 2 great playoffs going on right now. The NHL playoffs started right now. We'll just go down the list of what's going on. Right now, one of the greatest series I've seen in a while. The Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, how can you not love this series? There's already been 3 overtime games, and it is a 2-2 series. Now it's the best of 3. A lot of people pick one of these teams to represent the West in the conference, in the Stanley Cup Finals against more than likely the Bruins or the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's what everybody's saying. But great hustle from these players. Last night was an amazing game, 3-1. Kings, it looked like they had it, and then all of a sudden, Oilers came back, scored 4 straight to win the game, even 1 goal in overtime. I think McDavid, I think Kane, I think all these guys, Drexel, all of them are going to, Draisaitl, are all trying their best to be that first team in Canada to finally fucking break through in such a long time to win that Stanley Cup. And they have the best player in the fucking league. I mean, McDavid, all I hear is this guy being the greatest athlete, do all this shit, and this is what's happening. I'm very excited. And now we can go to the least exciting one, the New Jersey Devils against the New York Rangers. I think the Rangers pretty much have this in the bag. The Devils were a little hung up with what they did. I think Hughes is good. I think a lot of those players are really good for the fucking Devils. But I think the Rangers just have too much firepower. And I think they might be a team that has something to say against the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Maple Leafs, which is also a good series as well. I think that is one of the most contentious series. And I think right now we're seeing what they can do and what's happening in that. I'm actually going to pull it up because I think I have a little stat for you. Everybody doesn't think I'm a hockey guy, eh? Yeah, ready? Cue the music. So right now, the Maple Leafs and the Lightning are in Game 4, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have a 2-1 lead. Right now, it's going to just come down to Marner. I think he really is the key guy in all this. I mean, we just really need to see a lot to be stepped up from the Maple Leafs because a lot of people have them choking, as always. The Golden Knights, they have a pretty commanding lead. I think they will beat the Jets, and I think the Avalanche will take care of the Kraken. I don't think there's anything really here. It tells me otherwise. What's going to be done is done. I mean, Islanders, yeah, Hurricanes got that in the bag. Oh, this is another good series. The Wild and the Dallas Stars. Now that goes back and forth a lot, but it's a different back and forth. Oh, and the Boston Bruins. I don't even have to talk about the Bruins. I know that the Florida Panthers got their little nice win. Woo! But Bruins are Bruins. All right, let's move on. The Stars and the Wild. I mean, that's a great series as well. I think the goaltending has been great. But here's the difference: it's like instead of it being back and forth, it's kind of like funny how the team that wins destroys the other team. It's not like, oh, this team won 2-1. This team actually just is destroying them, and that's the thing. It's crazy. I don't know what to expect the rest of these playoffs, but I mean it's been great so far. I think so far we've seen some stars come firing. I need to see an Oilers Bruins or a Las Vegas Knights Bruins Stanley Cup Finals. I've been saying that, and I think that's the biggest thing. Tonight we'll see what happens. I am recording on Monday, as why I said the Aaron Rodgers news. So there you go. Now to the NBA, where I know a little bit more about that. So the NBA is now into a shocking place where only one team has swept so far. I mean, the Philadelphia 76ers have swept the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, not credit to Mikal Bridges. He did his greatest work those last 2 games. I mean, I think he's going to be an all-star next year. Not putting that in there. Dame Lillard was on the sideline. Be careful of that. Dame Dollar in Brooklyn. Yeah, you all know. But I think that we'll see what happens with Brooklyn. I think really what they did after that, the saga of the big 3 of Harden and Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they really put this team together to a point where if you add a star, I think they'll be pretty good. It's kind of crazy, but we'll see what happens with Philly. Even though they swept them, they are going into the second round, maybe without Embiid for a couple of games. His back, his knee, or whatever, it didn't look good according to Doc Rivers. I think it's going to be the Harden show and the Maxey show. If Maxey really wants that max contract, I think he really needs to step up. And it's looking like that their opponent will be the Boston Celtics, who are now in 3-1 commanding lead against the Hawks. I don't know if everybody saw it, but DeAndre Murray bumped a ref at the end of the game, started yelling, saying, oh, this, and this. blah, blah, blah. And it's getting out of hand with Atlanta. I think Quinn Snyder is a great coach. I think Trae Young, for whatever reason, I know that poll came out saying he was the most overrated player or some shit. I think they have a good nucleus of players. I just don't know where you go from here. If you lose this round, because they were the AC last year, lost. They went to that conference. Everybody remembers that conference finals when they went against the Bucks. It's crazy. I don't see where this goes. But for the Boston Celtics, now that Giannis is hurt, that Embiid is hurt, we don't know what the case is for the Knicks so far. I mean, the Knicks might be the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics. So the Boston Celtics have really a good path to the NBA Finals again, and try to avenge that loss against the Warriors. So and then moving on to the said Bucks and the Miami Heat. The Heat won, now up 2-1 on the back of course, Jimmy Butler, but Duncan Robinson coming off the bench with 5 made threes on 6 attempts, 20 points. A lot of people contributed. Caleb Martin, Max Strus, but it came at a very devastating loss. And prayers up to Victor Oladipo. It's going to be his 3rd knee surgery on a suffering, I forgot I think it was his tendon. Man, that guy, 2-time All-Star. He was a competitor. He was the reason why the Pacer Nation had great things going on. It just sucks because, Miami, if you want me to be honest, didn't trade anyone because they thought Victor Oladipo would be something out of this world. Same with Hero. Now, both are hurt, so I think Jimmy Butler needs to score 50 points to even give us a chance. Giannis is going to be back for Game 3, so we'll see about that. This recording will come out before the game, or I'm recording before the game. I just don't see a lot happening right now, but if Miami does take a 3-1 lead, it's just Jimmy and hopefully Bam. I just don't know what Bam is doing. He's looking like Pebbles instead of fucking Bam Bam. He's a piece of shit right now. And I'm saying this because I love Bam. I've defended Bam. I've gone to bat for Bam, saying he's the 3rd best center in the NBA behind Embiid and Joker. And everybody's like, oh, what about Giannis and what about Anthony Davis? Power forwards. Let's move on. But it's just ridiculous. We just need extra things happening. And then another frustrating franchise probably people are upset about. I know because I have friends in Cleveland. The Cleveland Cavaliers just getting dogged by fucking the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson. Oh my God! If I'm Kyrie watching this, or Luka watching this, I am pissed that we have Kyrie and not him because they let him go for free and they traded everything to fucking the Nets. Their depth. They don't have Spencer Dinwiddie. They don't have Finney Smith. They don't have any picks. Now he has to ride around with fucking Flat Earther over here while Brunson is giving Cleveland the worst series they have ever imagined. Because they have Spida, who's been nothing short but awful. Garland, who turned it on at the end, in the second half when it was already said and done. And then Mobley and Allen are just getting destroyed by Mitchell. Fucking Mitchell out of nowhere. Randall does not even have his imprint on this fucking series. That's what's the funny part about this. R.J. Barrett gave him 27 points and destroyed him. Now everybody's saying, Nick KD, you wish you could have been a Nick, all that shit. Put the side talk video in there, baby. Let's get fucking wild, New York. Yeah, New York thinks they're going to the finals, but they will play Miami or Milwaukee. We'll see what happens because that's crazy right now that the Cleveland Cavaliers traded all that shit. I think their coach is the dumbest coach in the NBA. Let's just put it that way. Listen, I know something about stupid coaches, all right? I'm not talking about Eric Spoelstra. I'm talking about the guy who's the offensive coordinator of this team who might as well be a fucking kid with a Madden playbook who doesn't even know how to press buttons, all right? His fingers are all cut off. And that's the problem with it nowadays. Is people are too scared to figure out, hey, what works best for us? And that's the thing. Cleveland needs to figure out what works best for them because they have a team that could win now if they're lucky enough. They need to get 3-point shooting. They need to get defense. But Jesus Christ, man. New York is good. And don't take me wrong. I'm not taking away anything from New York. It should be more competitive. This was the game. This was the series I said 7 fucking games. But anyways, I don't want to harp too much because we still got the West. Let's just talk about it, all right? Dylan Brooks is the dumbest person of all time. How are you going to go up to these? I just want to know what people think. I get it, competitiveness. You don't want to come off as a bitch. No man. I fear no man. But like people who poke LeBron, who poke Giannis, who poke like David Ortiz back in baseball, who poked fucking Tom Brady when he played, Aaron Rodgers. Like, dude, you guys are poking people who are legends of the game, who will fucking destroy you. And it's guys that are nothing. Like Dylan Brooks brings nothing to the table than fucking just his mouth. Like even Doris Burke roasted him. Said he doesn't play efficient basketball. His defense is lackluster at times. He doesn't shoot efficiently, so he brings nothing. It wasn't like Ja. It wasn't like JJ and Triple J. It wasn't even Desmond Bain. It was Dylan Brooks who had to poke LeBron. And what did LeBron do? Shut them down. And tonight, I expect the same thing. I think the Lakers go up 3-1. Because Dylan Brooks just gave him bullet board material. Doesn't make freaking sense. So we'll see what happens. Now, the series everybody's talking about, the Kings and the Warriors, it went 2-2. On a last-second shot by Harrison Barnes. And everybody is joking around. It was like they left him wide open to show him why they didn't re-sign him. I mean, Fox has been amazing. Sabonis has been all right. I mean, like, they do get stuff from Malik Monk here and there. But let's not forget, this is Dub City, baby. This is Dub fucking City. You got to put your foot to their throat and cut their necks like it's turkey dinner. But no, that turkey drank a bunch of juice, and now it's juiced up. Now it looks like this. And guess who that is? That's Steph Curry on one arm. That's Klay Thompson on the other arm. And that gizzard right here is Draymond Green. He sucks. At the end of the day, man, I mean, like, Jordan Poole sucks. And you could beat this team. But you don't want to because you're honestly showing your experience, your age in all this. And now De'Aaron Fox might be out for next game because he has suffered a thumb or a finger or something like that. But we'll see how that goes because I don't know what's happening. Because those two series is what we all want to see. Now, on the other hand, we have two series that's pretty much done. And I hate to say it like this, the Clippers, it's not their fault. I mean, Kawhi's hurt, quote unquote. Paul George is hurt, quote unquote. And now you have to rely on Russell Westbrook, who put on a show. Let's not choke around. Laker fans over here telling me that he's Russell Westbrook. He sucks. He has nothing left. He's a turtle without a shell. Well, I guess he found the shell in fucking the other side of the building, and he became a Super Mario brother all of a freaking sudden. Now there's nobody who wants to help him. You have a team with KD, Devin Booker, CP3, and DeAndre Ayton. That's not enough. I mean, that's enough to beat Russell Westbrook easily. They're going to win again. And it sucks because I liked Russell Westbrook, what he's doing. Man provides nothing. Plummy did whatever. It is what it is. And then you have last night's game, which was a snooze fest. And I can't believe that the Timberwolves almost lost because they were up 12 points with 2 minutes left. And then they let the Denver Nuggets come back in. I think that at this point, the Denver Nuggets are just going to tidy up. They're going to win the next game, and I think that's over. I know now only one prediction of a sweep is in, and that was Philly. Boston didn't sweep, and Philly's and Denver's not sweeping. So as of now, my predictions are still there. I still have the Bucks against the Knicks. I have the Celtics against the Sixers. I still have the Lakers against the Warriors, and I still have the Nuggets against the Suns. So it is what it is. I think it's going to be Suns, Golden State, which would be sick. And then I think it's going to be, you know what? I'm going to go on a limb. I think it's going to be Knicks Boston, and Boston wins. And it's Knicks Suns or Boston Suns, and then we're going to see flamethrowers, baby. It's going to be great. So that's the NBA playoffs. Now for the MLB, how about the Orioles? How about the Pirates? Two teams that were in purgatory, now they're fucking the toast of the town. I love it. They're both on great winning streaks. One is on a 7-game winning streak. The other one's on a 6. It might be longer now after this recording. But it's great. I mean, the pitching, the staff, the coaching, everything has been there for both teams. I mean, this is how you build a team without spending a lot of money. And that's great. I mean, obviously at the top you have the Rays, the Braves, the Mets, the Yankees. You have all those guys in those power rankings, but at the same time, it's good to see some teams going at it and coming for it. You know what I mean? Twins, like a lot of these teams go through hell for 5-6 years just for 3 years of relevant baseball, and now we're here, and that's what lovely about this whole thing is that we need to keep doing this. We need to keep watching this. We need to keep pushing for this. I know a lot of those teams, people are Yankees fans, Red Sox fans, Astros fans. They're going to spend their money. Fine, do you. But we need these types of play. We need the Nationals. We need a national, Washington National World Series, all right? Astros, they were the same thing. Now they've become a conglomerate. That was a word. And we're going to keep watching these baseball guys go crazy. I think this is amazing. There was a guy today who pitched seven Ks right away. So, I mean, baseball has been fun this year. I think the pitch clock has been amazing. Whoever says it's not, they're stupid. So, there you go. And for the biggest all-around sporting event this past weekend, Tank Davis against Ryan Garcia. Tank punched Garcia out. No, not really. It seemed like Garcia had something wrong with his ribs. He fell to his knees. He lost. Tank Davis still undefeated. I think it's a great moment in sports when something like this happens because so many people watch it. I think OBJ was at the event. Obviously, now being a Raven, he gave a Baltimore native his jersey. I'm doing this for OBJ, not for Tank. Please don't kill me. Ryan Garcia now is being in my opinion, a wuss, saying, "Oh, I want to be friends with you now that that this is over." And if I was Tank, I'd be like, "Nah, dog. Like, what? Like, this is boxing. Nobody should kiss each other up and all this shit." So, Combat Sports UFC also came out with 6 prominent fights apparently for the summer, and we're just gonna keep watching and see what happens. I know these topics have been running a little bit better. Hopefully, we keep going. I know golf is coming back. Shit, man, I'm just trying to fit in the holes that I can. You know what I mean? I'm just a hole filler, just somebody who can do different things. I'm like fucking Bam Adebayo, who's a piece of fucking shit. And there just needs to be case studies for that guy. Like, how are you going to be an all-star, top 20 player, and then do this? All right? Thanks. Oh, God damn it. Sexual innuendo. When you paint walls, you need white.